welcome to the Busted Knees and Pretty Trees podcast, a worry-free bastion within the vast internet wasteland for those who like to wander the wild trails and wonder. I am Travis J. White, and I like to think we're the Appalachian Trail Days Festival of backpacking podcasts.
Hey, yeah, I'm
Humble, obscured by the surrounding landscape, lots of tents, and first-time visitors may not know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun.
Yeah, but thanks for stopping in and taking a rest from the ultimate thru hike, life. Take off your gear, grab a beer, meet some folks, restock your wares. Thanks for stopping in for a rest from the ultimate thru hike, life. This episode, along with a visit from our backcountry informant Walter, we have some gear talk you may find valuable before you set off on the next section of your journey.
Darn Skippy.
Important backpacking gear and backpacking gear accessories.
That's right.
The best stuff.
Yeah, for real. It is. It's the most fun stuff. That's for sure.
And no one likes talking gear more than these two fanatics right here in front of me.
Yeah.
If you happen upon a water cooler during a hike along the trail, you'll surely happen upon these two, posted up, slapping their gums about backpacking setups. Bradley Greer and Paddy Richardson.
Yes. Hello. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Can't believe you got that camp chair. How much that thing weigh?
Oh, yeah. We do talk. I can, at work, where when I used to work with Brad, dude, I cannot tell you the amount of people that had to sit through probably minutes, if not tens of minutes during a workday and just listen to us jaw jack about the latest, greatest gear that him or I have purchased.
I've heard stories.
I think all of our listeners have heard stories.
And you guys will come to me and be like, la, 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 la. And I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, oh, yeah, Patrick and I talked about that at work today.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you anything. But then when you guys aren't together, then I get informed because the text is blowing up in the group chat.
Yeah.
So I stay informed that way.
That's right. Old dipshits.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We use like Microsoft Teams is our mode of texting nowadays at work.
Yeah. It's nice when I get to work and I see a text from Brad, like, ooh, something fun. And then it always is. Oh, snap. Dude,
Time for some news stories.
I'm psyched.
All right, let's get into it.
Please.
A 7-year study has revealed that removing invasive American bullfrogs from Yosemite's National Park is helping the northwestern pond turtle make a comeback. Did you guys ever know that bullfrogs are an invasive species?
Didn't know that.
I did not know that either.
It is. I don't think it is where we're at, but in the western U.S., it is an invasive species, and they've spread it throughout the world. And so it's an invasive species basically around the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bullfrog?
Yeah, bullfrog.
Like your normal bullfrog.
Yeah.
Huh.
Here's one of the reasons that they are. Here, I have a quote from one of the authors of this study from the article I read. His name's Brian Todd. He said, one reason American bullfrogs are among the top worst globally introduced pests is because they eat everything, anything that fits in their mouth.
That's what I was about to ask. Are they herbivores or omnivores?
They eat anything.
Carnivores?
Whatever fits in their mouth, they're eating it.
Like, will they eat a mouse?
Yeah.
Dead fish?
Yeah.
Why does
Turtle.
that?
Turtle?
Baby turtle.
Oh, we're about to get into it.
Yeah.
Because my question was about to be, why is that so crummy? I also eat almost anything anybody puts near my mouth.
Well, that hit me pretty hard just now because on my way home from work, I was on this hilly road coming through the country, and there was a freaking turtle trying to cross the road.
Aw.
And I did everything I could. I didn't hit him.
Oh, thank God.
Gosh,
Jesus
you made it
Christ,
sound like
Travis.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, don't say it.
Yeah.
God.
Dude, but good thing I have that ground clearance.
Darn.
Oh, yeah.
Why? What, did that help stop you from hitting a tiny turtle?
When
I was able to navigate the ditch
Oh.
of the road.
Get it, son. Hey, you know what? That turtle thanks you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does the pond it belongs to.
Yes.
But if it was probably just a chipmunk or something, I probably would have just kept going straight. But man, turtles. I don't know if it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles but there's something about them.
Yeah.
I'm glad that story ended the way I didn't think it was going to.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I would tell that.
I do. Every time I see a
smashed
turtle, I take a photo of it too. And even though I don't do anything with it, I always look at it and think, oh, look at that turtle.
Remember that big old
box
snapper turtle we
Just
saw?
turtle photos.
Yeah.
Ooh, that thing
Yeah.
looked like a dino.
Crazy.
That's another story. Those things are horrifying.
Yeah.
Well, one reason bullfrogs are kind of like spread around and people introduce them is because they are a good food source for other species. Like it's that, that old thing, like you introduce snake, like a python to get rid of the rats, but now you have a python problem.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of sounded like we said, they are an invasive species because of their voracious appetite. They also just produce a large number of eggs. And so they just propagate super quick and they just take over an ecosystem, and that affects amphibians, some insects, and some fauna just because they're eating everything. They're also, they're skittish, I'm sure, did you guys ever go bullfrog hunting as a kid?
Gigging?
Yeah.
Not as a kid, but as an adult I have.
Oh, when they like just all jump into the water.
Well, you have a
when
flashlight at night and it stuns them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like you have to, that's the only way to do it because they are so skittish. So it's really hard
You have to blind 'em.
once they establish a pond, like it's really hard to get rid of them just because there's so many. And the tadpoles, like it's hard to get rid of them.
Those tadpoles are massive.
Yeah. I saw a
crazy.
green heron eat one the other day and I couldn't tell what the hell it was at first that he had because it looked so damn big. It was weird. So
A bullfrog or a tadpole?
a tadpole.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big tadpole. Soon to be a bullfrog, right?
Yeah, that's how that works.
So researchers from the University of California started investigating the ponds in Yosemite back in 2016. Sydney Woodruff, who was the lead author on this study, she said at night you could look out over the pond and see a constellation of eyes blinking back at you. Their honking noise is iconic and it drowns out native species. Like you can't hear anything but bullfrogs.
Oh, that I understand.
Yeah. The northwestern pond turtle, it's also known as the Pacific pond turtle. It is native all the way from British Columbia, Canada, down to Mexico, or it was, but it's been extirpated from Canada. They've pretty much said it's extinct in Canada. And there's only 2 freshwater turtles native to California. Or no, sorry. There's only 2 freshwater turtles in the West, and this Pacific pond turtle is the only one native to California. So it's kind of a big deal.
That is a
Like,
big deal.
If they're gone there, they're slowly dwindling. Because without bullfrogs, turtles already have enough like competition to survive. Because they nest on the beach, kind of like with loggerheads and the sea turtles. They nest on the beach, so their eggs get eaten. The baby turtles often have to survive. There has to be beach habitat for them to nest in.
Yeah.
So they already have an uphill battle without the bullfrogs. And another interesting fact is, like out west, the ponds typically dry up, or a lot of them dry up in summer and fall droughts. So these turtles are known to spend at anywhere like up to 200 days out of water, just moving from habitat to habitat. Because as a pond dries up, they got to go find another one and just move.
No kidding.
So 200 days a year out of water.
You said these are freshwater?
Yeah. Yep. I have a picture to show you guys. There's a Pacific pond turtle.
Oh, wow.
What a cutie patootie.
Yeah.
It looks
Very
kind of
nice.
like just a small tortoise.
Hey, how
You know
the
what I mean? The way,
fuck
I
did
don't know.
that turtle get on top of that thing?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Don't all turtles look like small tortoises?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that turtle is sitting on top of. I wonder if that's where that turtle was swimming, and that water started drying up, and that's where it just kind of landed as that.
I was wondering that too.
Because that is a really strange picture of where that turtle's
Yeah.
sitting.
Wonder
That's-
if we
I-
just get some
That's actually
sun.
why I chose that one, because I was thinking that that would be really cool to see.
Yeah,
They do like chilling on top of stuff in the sun.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
see
but
like
that-
a bunch
that's
of them
a-
on a log
as
or
far
something.
as I can see, that's a pretty dramatic, straight up climb to that. Is it
Yeah.
not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how he would climb up that.
Okay. Anyway, keep going. Just an observation.
So the study with the University of California began in 2016 and ran through 2022. the researchers tracked 4 sites in Yosemite. 2 sites had bullfrogs and 2 sites did not have bullfrogs. So they noticed that right off the bat, the sites where bullfrogs were present, there was only older, mature turtles that the bullfrogs couldn't eat because they were too big. And the site where there were no bullfrogs, there was up to 100 times more turtles, including young, like juvenile turtles, which they haven't seen in any of the other ponds. They didn't quite get into how they eradicated the bullfrogs, which I was kind of interested in.
That's what I was wondering. How do you get rid of bullfrogs if they're so easily, they can spread so easily?
Yeah, they didn't really get into that, and that's what I was kind of interested to hear. Maybe once they do an update to the story, maybe they'll add that.
Yeah. Huh. I'm kind of like perplexed.
I bet humans have a big part to do with that.
What?
Is it bullfrogs? Like if we eat them, somebody's going to be like, yeah, I'd like to have some bullfrogs in my pond.
These were introduced, I think intentionally introduced.
Yeah.
They just didn't think of all the ramifications that would happen.
I mean, they're just frogs. What could they possibly do?
To reverse that, the human population does, in fact, have to understand how tasty frog legs are. And then we have the reverse where we just overhunt the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
We have a lot of cows.
We do eat a lot of cows.
Love eating cows.
We also mass produce cows. You know?
Yeah.
I do like frog legs, by the way.
Take them or leave them.
Tabasco, baby. Tabasco and frog legs, done.
So in 2019, they mostly removed all the bullfrogs from the ecosystem, and almost instantly they started seeing baby turtles and like juvenile young turtles repopulating the ponds.
All right.
So it's always good when it bounces back quickly like that. So not only did the turtles make a comeback, when you go out to the pond, you hear native frog calls and you see salamanders running around everywhere.
Oh, man.
So it's bringing like all the amphibian life back.
Sweet.
Yeah. And this was pretty recent. Like this study was just published. So this is kind of an ongoing thing. So next time you're out in Yosemite, see if you can find a Pacific turtle, pond turtle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Will do, Captain.
Pretty cool.
And if you see a bullfrog, what are you going to do?
Scream at it. Like, you get out of here, bullfrog.
I wonder if they have, because in Indiana,
you know what I mean?
You get out of
You're
here.
a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. No, I invited you.
just shine a flashlight in their eyes. Well, there is like in Indiana, there's the lantern moth. There's you're supposed to kill them if you see them.
I think it's the lantern fly.
Yeah, or a nest. Like if you see the nest or them, you're supposed to report it and kill them.
Yep.
What's it look like?
They have billboards.
And assassin bugs, I think, are another one. You're supposed to kill those if you see them.
There's also like the, insect-wise, yeah.
So it'd be interesting if they're like, if you see a bullfrog, stomp it out.
Yeah. Ugh, no thanks. Gross.
I saw a thing about don't kill black snakes because they kill all the other bad snakes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't kill any snakes.
I mean, generally, I would probably just leave that up to the professionals in terms of extermination of an invasive species. Like, I just, as a rule of thumb, because I don't have a clue, I'm just not going to kill anything.
Well, it's most people kill any snake they see just because they're scared of it. Like, I think that's a common problem.
I'm deathly afraid of snakes, and I don't kill them.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'm not deathly
You
afraid
just let them. They're going to keep on moving.
Just move away.
Just let them.
Just move away. Go
let 'em leave.
Go do
I
your
get close
thing.
enough to be like, whoa, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
actually get kind of close.
Yeah.
I agree. Next one, brother.
The National Park Service recently unveiled a new eco hotel at the Everglades called the Flamingo Lodge.
I have heard about this.
It's like I have had no interest to go to the Everglades.
Yeah.
But this place, even like the campground and stuff there, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
The Flamingo Lodge.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a hurricane resistant hotel. It's located deep within the Florida Everglades. I have a picture. If you're like, it's kind of interesting to see where it's at. If you're at home, if you want to Google search.
Wow.
It's on the very, very most southern part of Florida, not the Keys. It's looking onto the Keys.
Yeah.
It's very, very deep.
Mainland, southern mainland.
Correct. Yeah. Good one.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
That's the word I
Thanks
was
for emphasizing.
So over the last few decades, climate change has been producing stronger and more frequent hurricanes. So that makes it a challenge just to even keep a lodge at this point because it's on the tip of Florida, so it sees everything. And not only that, the storm surges that come with hurricanes.
Yeah.
So they have to build it up off the ground.
So when I was reading about this, I was reading that this was built for like the super hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Like this thing is built for the future of what Florida's coastlines are going to be.
How many rooms we talking?
We'll get into I'll get into the construction details here in a second.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
So the previous lodging was like a 1960s era cinder block kind of construction, and it was finally like completely demolished in 2019, but it had gotten condemned basically after Katrina and Hurricane Wilma just like tore the whole campsite or that whole area completely apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this was a good quote from NPS Ranger Allison Gamp, who's the communications director for the Everglades National Park Service, about why it was important to rebuild this lodge. She said, "There were many reasons to rebuild Flamingo Lodge. We heard from visitors that generations of people who had come that this was a destination. The opportunity to spend the night inside a national park and expand and enhance the experience. You're there to see the stars at night, see the sunrise, or hear the birds in the morning, or to encounter the mosquitoes at night to see the difference from the daytime." I thought that was weird. Who's like, I want to see those mosquitoes at night. Maybe it's like such a phenomenon that there's so many. It's just kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, like in any regard, there's always people that are interested in sorts of things.
Well, and like she was saying at that point, I think you're seeing like the sunset and like sunrise and sunset over the ocean.
I think she's
if it's
kind
right
of
there on the
means
end.
like just seeing the Everglades for what they are,
and being able to
spend all 24 hours there.
Like experience it at night as well as the daytime. Like it seems like that's a whole nother experience.
And
that sounds stunning the way she wrote it.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know much about the Everglades. Do they have like long hiking trails and camping zones, or is it?
I don't think it's
super
extremely
kind of
long.
marshy like that.
I don't think it's extremely long hiking trails or anything along those lines, but I definitely think that you could spend a day hiking there. That's for sure, or multiple days.
Yeah, I mean the park itself is gigantic.
Yeah,
it's like the whole southern part, like third of Florida, basically.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of it that's kind of inaccessible?
Yeah, I think the fan boat kind of thing.
Yeah,
and a lot of it, there's a big problem where the lake that I can't think of what the
Lake Okeechobee.
Okeechobee. I was close.
Yep.
There's something with that where they've like created offshoots of it to supply water sources elsewhere.
Yeah.
And like the Everglades is somehow drying up.
Yeah.
And it's like a pretty big concern right now.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. But back to the good news. So when they say deep in the park, it's a 38-mile drive from the park entrance in Homestead, Florida. It's like you're getting to the end of the park entrance and driving 38 more miles to get to this like Flamingo Lodge area.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Everything that you're telling me right now makes me want to sign up immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, because we used to always say like
All the
Everglades is the last place.
Everglades and Congaree. It's never been like, or not Congaree, whatever the other one is. You know, the one.
No.
We can never. It's the one that's right there. It's another national park. It's like 95% water.
Oh, Dry Tortugas?
No, not Dry Tortugas. That's a monument. I believe, like that. Like that's an island.
Okay.
But anyway, whatever it is. Yeah, we've always said no. Nah, that'll be one of the last ones on my list. This kind of makes me want to do it like this fall.
Yeah. Well,
and the birding there is supposed to be spectacular.
Oh yeah,
like spectacular.
Yeah, there's like in the Everglades, there's birds that are only in the Everglades.
Yeah, that's a fine day.
Yeah, for sure.
Flamingos.
Just check them off the list.
Flamingos.
Oh yeah.
No, there's no flamingos.
There's something. There's like the
not a Flamingo Hotel.
Damn.
Maybe. You never know. So the NPS started to slowly rebuild the area because there's a campsite, and they're all called like the Flamingo campsite. There's a marina there and a general store. So like as they're rebuilding all this, they hadn't really got approval or haven't started rebuilding the lodge. So it started quickly becoming apparent we got to get some kind of lodge because not everybody wants to camp. And I imagine I don't know, you're right on the beach. because my first thought is that's a super humid, hot, like sleep at night in a tent. But it's on the ocean, so maybe there's a nice breeze.
I would imagine there's.
They
a
get
nice
some pretty
breeze.
good breezes going through there.
Yeah. So here's how they built them. They welded together and fitted out repurposed shipping containers that are elevated on top of 13-foot reinforced concrete pylons. So they're really high up off the ground.
Yep.
They're a bunch of old shipping containers that are welded together. And from the pictures I saw, like you wouldn't immediately guess that they're shipping containers.
They do a pretty good job with those. They just put some up on Berry Street last year.
Yeah.
And they look pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice. So I think the one kind of downfall is there's only 24 rooms in the whole lodge. So I'm wondering how hard it's going to be to get a reservation, or what kind of like 2 years in advance or something you have to get a reservation.
Damn.
But you never know.
So cool.
Is that just a guess, or is that really 2 years?
That's just a guess.
Oh, damn,
I didn't look, but there's only 24 rooms. There's how many Americans?
all clamming to get to the Everglades.
To the Flamingo.
Every one of them.
To the Flamingo Lodge.
Whatever million people. We gotta get to the Everglades.
The new Flamingo Lodge is open.
Your wait is 15 years.
Yeah, so that's it. This sounded like there was a lot of problems, a lot of setbacks. They really wanted to make sure that they built it to withstand whatever Mother Nature throws at it, and they like don't have to worry about it again for a long time. And it took them quite a few years to actually, because I think it was around 2019 or something, because COVID like stalled it out. So it's a big success that they got this complete, and now you can go stay at the very southern part of Everglades.
So you just posted up that picture, and right away I'm just a little bit disappointed because there's no water underneath it. I was hoping there'd be like reeds like popping up out of the water.
If you're there during a hurricane, there would be from the storm surge.
Are they still letting people in when there's a hurricane?
Probably not.
No, hell no. No. Come on down. It'll be fine. We're built for it.
I'm like, okay.
Nah.
If
Honestly,
this thing's a tank, I might try it.
No. Yo, dude.
That was it.
I'm still on the turtle one. I very much want to go to the Everglades, but the turtle one to me is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, one, I love turtles. It's finally like you tell a lot of animal stories that are animals that are scary and that I'm not a massive fan of, but this animal story, that's like on par with the animal story where you were talking about building the bridges.
Yeah, the path or the
like I think that might have been
crossings.
like season 1.
Yeah,
even
wildlife crossings.
Yeah, wildlife crossing.
Yeah.
So that's just like a happy story to me. It's not like a discovery. It's just a good story about reiterating
and it always
cute little animals.
A lot of these
Mount Lyell
stories,
like the Mount Lyell shrew. But yeah, they didn't have to reintroduce it. They were trying to. I don't know. I just like it.
a lot of the stories that we get are kind of based around introducing, invasive species somewhere, and then the environment deteriorates in some way.
Yeah, it's like it's like we learned about the capstone species, the something engineers, like they changed the landscape, like beavers.
Yep.
You learn. It makes sense. You don't think about it, but like all of the animals have their category that they're in of what they do, and like it's cool learning about it. Stuff you never knew about.
Their little niche in life.
The beaver thing is always, ever since I learned about that, I'm thinking, it was just a rushing little stream down the mountain. Now it's a pond or a lake.
Yeah.
And
or a
just
marsh.
All the things that can benefit from that. And
Totes.
Just making that big change. One animal.
Super cool.
Totes.
Pretty wild. Those are good stories, Brad.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
good job, News Panther.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't think.
I didn't mean to say
Thank
Brad.
God. Yeah. Brad's just the mouth. Right?
We're one and the same.
No.
Just the dummy.
That's
in
literally
front of the
debatable
mic.
every other episode. I'm so perplexed. Hey, what do you say we rock a little fucking gear accessories?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's
yeah.
what we're here for.
I'm soups in, dude.
So backpacking gear and backpacking gear accessories.
Yeah.
What exactly are we talking about, Brad? When you want to take that one?
Yeah, when we say accessories, it's kind of like the things that you could take or leave. You may not take on every trip. For me, it's things I have to decide before the trip whether it's something I want to take with me, because it's obviously all extra weight.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah, like you could definitely do without it. Most people might think you're weird for even taking some of it, but it's just fun stuff to take when you're tinkering at night, when you set up camp.
Some of it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to be a tinkerer to enjoy gear accessories.
Yeah, like I know every time I'm not sitting in my camp chair, Travis is sitting in my camp chair.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Oh, we talking camp chairs?
I know, like you dove deep into camp chairs, right, Paddy?
I all the years that I've been, adventure canoeing or whatever you call it, long range canoeing or backpacking.
Adventure canoeing sounds way cooler.
Yeah, it does. Or hiking or camping or whatever. I've never ever taken a chair with me out there. And then going into the Tetons trip, going back to the intro, Brad and I got to talking about.
Was it me that convinced you? Like,
yeah, it was you that convinced me to get a camp chair, because I was like, dude, this just seems like not a necessity when you have, I don't know, the ground. And then I got a camp chair and did the earth. And I got a camp chair and I did a boatload of research and got like the ultralightest of ultralight camp chair. It was the Helinox Chair Zero. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it. I mean, you guys both saw it, but it was, I now I fucking love it. Like, I'm not sure if I would ever go back out without a camp chair. Even during REI's last sale, I was like, that's the one thing I had in my cart was a seat pad.
Yeah.
And it was like $11 and it was Sea to Summit. So it was like a brand that I knew. And then I never bought it because I'm like, dude, I have a camp chair. You know how much my camp chair weighs? 18.2 ounces. 18.2 ounces.
So 1 pound, 2 ounces.
Yes, thank you.
A whole chair.
I wasn't going to do that math.
There's really nothing to them. And honestly, I have sat in Brad's, and those things, when you're putting them together, watching him do that,
It's
it's
a
like, how
cakewalk.
does it not break when you sit in
Yeah.
it? It just seems so lightweight, but
Some physics.
it
right
holds your
there.
weight. And I do appreciate it's nice to be able to sit back in a little chair that's, the shape of your little buns. But I can't see myself ever buying one at this point.
Do you know how much Brad spent for
I
his?
will sit on the
Well,
ground.
first, we should probably say, like, when we say camp chair, these aren't chairs that you're bringing to your barbecue.
No.
Yeah, it's not like a folding chair.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have a spot for your beer.
They're
on it.
normally, like, your butt's normally, like, 3 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you're not squatting in it, but you're, like, laid back completely.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard to get up
It
out
gives a
of it.
little like lower back support,
Yeah.
but it's not like all the way
Yeah.
up your back.
No, but it's perfect amount where you can just kind of lean back
Yeah.
and just lounge. Take
It's
your feet
nice
off
for
the
sure,
ground.
yeah.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's just that's not one of my things. I don't want to have to
Yeah.
add that to my accessories.
Yeah. I
So-
get it. I mean, I very much get it.
Yeah, and it's because I'm in the boat right now where I don't know if I'm going to take it on too many more trips, or if I do, I may have to upgrade. I got one because I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not, like if this was going to be a thing, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I just searched through a ton of Amazon camp chairs, like looking on Amazon, and I found one that was 1 pound, 13 ounces, and it was $38. And I've had that one. I've had that one for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it's still like, it is every time I go camping, it takes me a minute to figure out how to set it up because it is kind of confusing, but it works great. And like, even one thing I like about it that a lot of the super lightweight chairs don't have, and this might be where the extra weight comes in, is most lightweight chairs, all 4 corners, like poles that are onto the ground, are like pointy into the ground.
Yep.
And they can dig into the ground.
Yep.
Where mine's like bars on the front and the back.
Yeah.
So it's like a little more secure, but it's also like 10 more ounces heavier than yours.
Yeah. I've experienced that problem with mine. I know that they make like a little, it almost look like, what do you put in your where it like evens out that weight,
Yeah,
like where those
disperses the load.
Yeah, disperses the load. Thank you. And so I have experienced that when you're sitting in some of that soil or that,
Like
sandy
sandy
soil, it just digs right into where eventually you're just sitting on the ground or you're sitting at like a 45-degree angle.
But yeah, like that. And that's a perfect example of how exponentially more expensive stuff gets to go lightweight. Like I spent just under $40 for 1 pound, 13 ounce.
Yeah.
And the one you got was,
I think I spent like about $140 on mine.
And it was 1 pound, 2 ounces.
Yeah. And that was back when it first came out. It was the highlight of highlights. I think since then they've even kind of shored up their design even more.
Yeah. And that's 10 ounces. I mean, that's not nothing.
It's not nothing to a backpacker or whatever, somebody that's watching their weight. And once again, I think like when you're coming off a hard day's trail and you have all your stuff around you, like your cook stove, you're sitting there enjoying the view or doing whatever, to have that camp chair like right off to on the side pouch, right on my backpack.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's better than sitting on the ground.
Well, it's kind of like what you've always said about hammocks. Like it just gets you up, up off the ground.
Yeah.
Like get your feet, like weight off your feet.
Right.
And
dude.
it's just at the end of the day, it's nice.
It is nice. Or even like when you stop for lunch, you can rip that thing out. It takes maybe 15 seconds to set up.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting back with some, like with a little back support.
But that being said, I don't know if I'm going to keep taking it.
Yeah, that surprises me, dude.
Bear cans make good chairs.
Bear cans do. And I've been turning myself around on bear canisters, so
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm taking my bear canister all the time now.
I will say Isle Royal does have, I think, picnic tables at a lot of the campsites. If nothing else, they have steps going into the shelters.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay sitting at a picnic table.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you got another one, Paddy? Another accessory?
I would say for me, probably my like greatest kind of gear accessory purchase that I've made that I'm like unbelievably happy with is my FlexTail mini air pump. And I never really thought about it. I just got one again on this last trip because I bought my first inflatable sleeping pad, not just like a foam pad.
Yeah.
And I hated the idea of sitting like in a crouched position or whatever, like pumping it up. And it seemed to take like 7-8 pumps. And it was just like, oh, dude, you know me. I'm ready to hit the hay.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not trying to sweat while I'm while I'm putting up my stuff.
This is game time.
This is game time, bro. And I want to be in that sack early.
For some reason, like every time you keep saying pump, I keep thinking of the Austin Powers, like one Swedish pump.
I haven't thought about that in years.
That's not mine.
Dude, so yeah, that would be, I think you even used it. And what I was happy with is that it weighs like, 2.8 ounces for an air pump that you can charge before you leave. And as long as you're not like cranking out hours, like letting this thing run forever.
Using it as a fan as you're hiking.
Yeah.
For the fire, you can
you
use
could
it.
use it for the fire.
It's nice.
You could charge this before you leave and use it for a week-long trip and have zero problems. But it takes that pump up time. I mean, you just hold that thing down on your pad and it takes that pump up time to probably like 20 or so seconds before your air mattress completely pumped up. It was just a wonderful gadget,
yeah,
dude.
It's handy dandy.
Cool, dude. For 2 point whatever ounces.
For those who like to get to sleep as fast as possible.
Not just that, dude. Sometimes you're sore and you don't want to sit down and you don't want to be on your knees that you just walked on for 10 miles or 20 miles or whatever, and getting air into the sack, rolling it down, pumping it. I mean, you're taking a 3-minute process to a 20-second process. That's a pretty gnarly thing, in my opinion.
That's 2 minutes and 30 seconds of something else you could be doing.
It's not just about being what you're doing. It's sitting on your knees and being uncomfortable after doing all the hard work. Like, to me, it's a great accessory for the chill, dude.
Yeah, it's nice. I agree. Like, it's something I would maybe take. It's not like I wouldn't.
Yeah.
2 ounces. That's just take a little less trail mix.
Yeah.
Or eat a little
It
more
also
trail mix.
works in reverse order too. So when you're getting rid of that air in your
That's
pad
almost
or your
the
pillow,
better. That's almost
I
the
agree.
better option.
I agree. You can put
Yeah.
that thing right in there. It sucks that shit so flat in once again in like 10 seconds,
You
20
could probably
seconds,
even
you're
put
rolling
it.
your pad.
You could probably even put it like close up a dry sack that way.
Yeah.
Like really suck down a dry sack.
Suck down a dry sack. Dude, can you say that one
Put
more
that
time?
on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt. That's our new slogan.
Again, not essential.
No,
Yeah.
but we
I'm
just,
not
we,
taking
we
one.
said that all these accessories are not necessarily
What's
needed.
funny is Travis's accessories weigh like 5 pounds.
Yeah, and he's shitting on all of my accessories.
You're
Like,
2
nah,
ounce fan.
nah. Like,
I'm
what?
just saying it's not my style. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's wrong.
Your style is to get on your knees and, well, you don't even have an air pad, do you? No.
Yeah, I got to blow mine up with my lungs.
Was that make you more of a man than me, Travis?
No, I just.
You said that in a way that was a bit judgmental.
I use my lungs.
I use my lungs.
No, it's if I already have a tool for it, I don't feel like I need to bring another one.
I mean, you have your arms and you carry a backpack.
Right. I'm just saying my lungs are a tool I can use to blow up my thing without bringing a.
You have a hand and you use
I
toilet
can't
paper.
karate chop wood in half,
Gross.
so I have to bring a hatchet. You know
Hey,
what I mean?
that's the other one I was going to bring up is
Yeah.
a hatchet. You don't carry a hatchet?
No.
You don't carry a hatchet.
No.
When you guys first got into backpacking and you started looking up gear lists for the first time, Travis, I'm not sure you've looked up any gear lists.
Probably not.
Yeah. But did you guys, well, that makes my question obsolete then. But did you not, like when I first started
Yeah, it's
looking,
usually an optional
Dude, it
thing on
is.
every checklist.
I don't think I understood the difference between optional or not back then because I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm taking everything because I think I'm scared
Yeah.
or whatever. And I bought an
And
S-wing
I
hatchet.
read the book Hatchet.
Well, I read that in my like 30s for the first time ever.
I read it in like middle school.
So did everyone I know. But anyway, that's just one of those things that it's on those gear lists. I have one. I love my hatchet for camping. It's an Estwing, gorgeous hatchet.
You do have a nice hatchet.
Thank you very
and
much.
I am envious when you're out there with it and I don't.
Yeah, well, you
have
can
it.
always use it.
Yeah, and thank you for that.
Consider it
'cause
ours.
When I do unsheath that thing, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Does it go?
man.
Ching.
Sing. No, that'd be cool as fuck though. But dude, anyway, it's just one of those things that our listeners, if you're gonna get into
That's
this
like a car.
activity,
That's like a car camping accessory.
but it's on the backpacking thing, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, listeners, just skip that on the gear list.
Yeah.
You do not need to add 10
Well, I mean, it's
pounds.
always fun. Every dude wants a hatchet.
If you can manage
True.
it, bring a freaking hatchet.
True.
I would
I
totally
got-
do that.
I got one for you.
Lay it on us.
So it's a recent purchase, or like recent within the last year. The Big Agnes Mountain Glow tent camp lights.
I'm excited.
So they cost $35. They weigh 2 ounces. It's a string of LED lights, and it has like a white sheath over it. Because the problem with a lot of the camp lights that you do get, like the little like mini LED lanterns and stuff, is it's like it's a bare LED, so it just blinds you, especially when it's dark out. Like you can't see anything.
And that light only actually stretches for about 3.5 feet.
Yeah, it's not
you know,
lighting up hardly anything outside.
So this
of that.
has like a thin white sheath over it, so it glows.
Yep.
And it doesn't blind you. But it's just like it's 2 ounces. It does run on a battery bank, has a USB, or you can put like 2 AA's in it.
Nice.
So I think what I probably will just start doing is that may be my like backup headlamp batteries, is I'll
Yeah.
just put them in there.
Yeah.
So, because it doesn't, I mean, they're LEDs, so they don't draw. I think I ran a test at home and they were on for like 48 hours on on a pair of AA batteries. And they do dim a little, like they start dimming, but still works.
When are you going to use those?
Oh, well, another thing that they do is they come in like a little pyramid shaped bag, and that bag has a little clip on it. So it's also like you can clip it on your tent poles on the inside of your tent or somewhere on the inside of your tent, and you have like a little hanging bag of light.
like a lantern.
Yeah, because the bag's like the same white stuff,
Yeah.
so it just glows.
I've been considering that because my little lantern sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of the same
light,
thing. It's so bright.
But I think lighting in your tent is pretty important because even if it says LED, whatever, it it's weird how that light just doesn't go far. It doesn't fill the tent. You can't really see anything.
And your other option is trying to like position your headlamp like facing down, but even that doesn't really work very well. It either blinds you or you still can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, you need a more, I guess, diffuse light.
Yeah.
And that's a nice way to do it.
It does seem badass. I've never considered putting like that's one of those things where I don't know about. Like I'm interested to see how Brad uses his and if it's nice and whatever. But like I've never considered bringing something to light up. I bring a headlamp.
Yeah.
I'm out in the backcountry. That's all I need.
But
That's what I used the whole last trip with a headlamp. It worked.
And every other trip, I assume.
No, I had that lantern.
You've taken that backpacking with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
But yeah, like I think like another kind of thing you don't think about that it's good for is normally when we go on a backpacking trip, we're camping either before or after our actual like hike.
Yeah.
And you can string this across the picnic table at night.
Right.
It has both ends have clips, so you can either tie it up if there's no trees close enough and just kind of have it hanging over you wherever you're kind of set up.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling like extra fancy at night when you're in your tent, you can string it around the inside of your tent. Yeah,
set the
mood. It's just one of those things. It's kind of a cool idea. They've made it 2 ounces, so
that's
super lightweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those fun ones that's just fun to have.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those just cool inside of your tent type things.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
if all 3 of us had it at a campsite, like you could really light up our site, like we're having a party out there.
Oh, dang.
Spell SOS with it.
Yeah. Hey. There it is.
Yeah. What do you have any, Travis, that come to mind? Any accessories
wise?
Yeah.
Well, have we talked about hiking poles? Yeah.
No, we haven't.
No.
Trekking poles?
Yeah, trekking poles, which you can, I guess, basically walking sticks.
Yeah.
But they make them now to where you can collapse them and lock them in and everything and tighten the straps, and they're lightweight. Those things are freaking amazing in terms of keeping your balance and just being able to use a little bit of upper body strength to take the load off of your legs. And it really helps going up and down and and doing all the marching and shit in the army with all that gear on.
Without trekking poles.
No trekking poles whatsoever. But having them out there is it almost makes it just kind of more chill.
Yeah. Like you get in a zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like clack, clack, clack. You kind of hear the sound of it hitting the dirt.
That's one thing I don't like about them is when you're on rocky terrain, they don't just kind of chunk in the dirt. You're hitting the metal, hitting stone.
Yeah, I will say that this is yet another piece of gear that I was convinced to purchase, and I've never used trekking poles ever. I kind of thought that was like I'm going to hold off till I get to that age.
Oh, same.
Where I need to use trekking poles.
I think I convinced both of you to use trekking poles.
Yeah, and it was. Why was that your first trip with trekking poles too?
No, I've been using them.
I think. This was back in like Appalachian when we did. Back in 2014 or something.
Well, I definitely I thought it was wonderful. I think for me, it was like coming down. Like you just kind of drag them in and you just kind of take a nice little easy step.
Yeah.
But the one part I didn't like about those is when you're going through the like heavy grasses,
like tall grasses,
like where the trail's only 6 inches wide as opposed to like 4.5 feet wide or whatever. And you just end up picking them up because they're just getting like stuck.
Just catching on shit.
I put them in front of me and let them knock all the ticks off the plants before I hit the plant. Yeah. At least in my mind, that's what I'm doing. Like knocking all the spider webs
out of there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. But it is like I've recently, because I'm kind of going through this weight cutting thing. Mm-hmm. And so I've been looking up trekking poles, and I got kind of lucky because I bought mine. This was one of the first pieces of gear I bought back in like 2014 or 15. And they're black diamond trekking poles. I'm pretty sure you can't buy them anymore. But I got super lucky because mine weigh 1.08 pounds. And like now I looked up and like having a 1 pound pair of trekking poles is like, they're even kind of hard to find.
Wow.
And they're like $180 or something to get like just under a pound trekking poles.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I don't know how
They're made
I
out
got
of carbon
lucky.
fiber. And
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
But they do have like, I think the main thing to think about when choosing trekking poles is the grip. 'Cause
Yeah.
some of them have cork grips.
I have cork ones,
Okay.
and I didn't see anything like, my grip stayed.
Even like the straps that go around them, because I almost use the strap more than I grip. Like I don't grip the pole as much as I use the strap like around my wrist to take the weight when I'm pushing it down. So it kind of, because your hands can get
That's
tired,
another
too.
thing is sometimes I'll just go without the straps
Yeah.
when it's hot out. But then when I put them back on, it really supports your wrist when
Yeah.
you're digging in, and you can really use your upper body to
Yeah.
propel you wherever.
And it feels good to stow them and walk without them sometimes.
It does.
Like it's like that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a good feeling.
Have that
too.
extra hand there, like
Yeah.
I'll put them up and grab my water bottle free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One more, just a little bit of insight for the listener. If you are going to get the collapsible ones or the ones that kind of telescope back up into themselves, dude, really pay it. Like, you do not want to go necessarily cheap on those, because I ran through another set of them. And when you're trying to get that thing to, like, when we were at the Tetons, I kept fucking with that one because it just would not stay like completely
Yeah.
expanded. I'm 6'3", dude.
Are yours like the twist, like screw locks, or are they
yes.
the snap locks?
Screw locks. Like you just kind of screw it in and then you snap it tight. And they just sometimes, dude, when you put that weight on it, you kind of like sink down with it. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you that does the exact opposite of what a trekking pole's supposed to. When you're kind of doing that, now you're putting
You're
that weight
expecting the
back.
weight.
You're pushing back up against it. So just it's another one of those things in backpacking gear where if you're gonna get trekking poles, just save up the extra cash and get yourself something good.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
And I think, the more solid they are, the less, like, the more they just kind of become part of your hike.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I was like worried I just kept every time we stopped, I was adjusting them. That kept riding in my mind as opposed to this like free hike.
Yeah.
But I tell you, if you're trying to just be tough, say, I don't need one, just try them.
Yeah.
Not one, two.
Kind of like a flex tail.
Yeah, give it
mini
a try. Yeah, I think you'll like it, especially if you're going up or downhill.
Yeah, I agree.
I think another big accessory that comes into hand is 550 cord. I think most people do generally
I think
take
that's
that.
kind of essential at some level.
But I can see it. I mean, especially if you don't know how to tie any knots or anything, like there's not much you can like.
Everybody knows how to tie a simple knot.
True, yeah, like a square knot or something.
I honestly, that's one of the other things that I take all the time because everyone tells you to take it. And I know that it's probably like I take it for more like emergency.
Yeah.
Like if you need to splint something or if you need to, somebody to yank somebody out down, whatever.
Repair some gear.
Yeah, but see, like, would you know how to do that? Like, would you know how to tie?
I would literally
tie
just
somebody
throw
off?
it down to them and say,
Lasso
hold
them.
on.
Figure it out.
Lasso them and pull them down.
If it was you that fell, I'd be like, tie a knot.
Tie a hangman's loop.
But dude, it's
be a
just one of
rough way
the
down.
like or 550 cord for me is like almost buying insurance, like where
Yeah.
you're just paying into it. I'm just taking it, and I'm like a first aid, like the Band-Aids in your first aid kit.
Yeah.
It's just like
But see, it's
I
kinda,
just don't use them.
But see, it's kind of where like if you learned one quick release knot and like the like bowline knot, those two knots, I feel like you would probably use your 550 cord a way more.
Maybe.
For just random shit, like tying a cup to your bag or something.
I'm
Like,
just gonna get a monkey clip, and then I don't have to ever tie a knot, not ever again.
He wouldn't be awake at camp long enough
Yeah.
to
yeah,
be able to
Like they make things to
Like-
clamp on
like I
a
made
coffee cup.
like I made a handle on my bear can out of 550 cord, and it's
That's-
super handy.
I am supremely and unbelievably happy for you doing that. But I would find something and I would buy a handle for my bear clip before I ever sat around and learned how to knot. But not to say, Brad, and I'm telling you, boy, I'm proud of you.
I
For
mean,
sure.
I'm on Brad's page.
No
I
kidding.
always find a use for that cord somehow.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
We always hang a clothesline when we get to camp. and like throw our
clothesline.
sweaty clothes over it overnight, let them dry out.
Yeah,
and
you
air
guys
out.
get to that 20 minutes after I'm already in bed.
I find ways to tie knots or tie some of it around a water bottle or something else that's kind of loose, and put a D-ring on it and make sure that I can secure it so it doesn't fall out.
Yeah,
or
see
something
how
like
you gonna
that.
hook a D-ring to a bottle, Patrick?
I've been out backpacking and hiking plenty of times, and I've never asked myself that question ever. No, I get it though. I very much get it, and it's also nice to have knot tires in my backpacking circle, because then now I don't ever have to learn still.
Yeah.
No.
And you can watch
Travis,
Brad try and tie a knot for an hour.
Travis, let's make a pledge to never tie a knot for Paddy,
Damn.
because he's got to learn how to do it himself.
Unless I've fallen down a cliff.
Nope.
What?
Never.
Brad.
Foot down. Never tying a knot for you.
No.
What if
that's-
he needs
that's
like
rude.
I'll give you a
tourniquet
D clip
or something?
Yeah. Here's a clip. He throw the one down. I'm sitting down there 30 feet under bottom of a cliff, like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this, dude?
You pull out super glue.
I'm like, what do I have in my pockets? Like, oh man.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else? Any other big
Hey,
accessories?
I have a question for you. Okay, and this one, what about knives?
Oh yeah.
What do you guys? What's your opinion on carrying knives with you? Do you do it?
Yeah, I take a fixed blade. It's probably like a 4-inch blade, maybe 4 or 5-inch, like fixed blade with a sheath on it. And I use that. I mean, I use it kind of just for random stuff.
Yeah.
For cutting pieces of 550 cord off.
I knew it was coming, dude. I knew it.
For digging a hole.
Yeah.
For just kind of all. When I come back, that thing's beat to hell, and it's not sharp anymore.
Really?
I mean, I use it in ways you shouldn't use it, like digging a hole in dirt.
It's a multi-tool.
Do you
Yeah.
Do you take a poop shovel?
No, that's what I use my knife for.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same. I don't take a shovel. I have a, what do they call it? Flip out, like bench made.
Yeah.
And it's just a knife. I just like how solid the blade is with the body, the handle.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it's built really well. And it's a knife one of my section sergeants had given me because he didn't want it anymore because it had the tip was broken off.
Yeah.
And I gave it to my dad one day and
Send it back, right?
yeah, he sent it back and they put a new tip on it.
Yeah.
And then he sent it back to me, and it's a nice blade that
Benchmates have lifetime warranty.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah, lifetime sharpening. Yeah.
But it's always been a good knife, a good utility, because I use it for a poop shovel too. I use it for.
That's interesting because
things.
one of the other things that I had the last thing I wanted to talk about was whether or not you bring poop shovels, because I don't bring a poop shovel at all. But when I was kind of thinking about how I was going to present that idea, is like there's
Surface
sticks, stones, and your hands to dig a hole. Because I also, when it comes to the knives, I carry one just because it's just another one of those things that I've had the same knife for probably the whole time I've been backpacking, and it still looks like the first time I ever went backpacking.
Yeah.
Like I've never sharpened it.
Still
it
has
looks
the
brand
oil.
new.
Still has the oil on it.
Still
for
has the oil
manufacturing.
on it, all that stuff. So I don't ever use it. Because I always consider it to be more like a safety tool. Like I was going to use it to cut open a wound or like a spider bite or a
I
snake
hope I don't
poop.
get
An
injured.
emergency situation.
Hey man, I'm not saying you want me to do it. I'm just saying if I needed to, brother, I will.
If I catch a bullet, you'll pop that thing right out.
I mean, I'll try.
At least I know it's a clean knife.
Oh yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But now that you're saying you also use it as a poop shovel, it's like, oh shit! Like I don't know why that never clicked in my brain, but that definitely is like a duh.
Yeah, I find random uses for it. It seems like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But mine
That makes
is
sense
like
to me.
I did manage to find because most knives, especially fixed blades, are pretty heavy, and the one that I found is 6.4 ounces.
Oh
So
shit!
it's not bad.
Nice.
It's I can't remember what the actual model is, but it's SOG is the brand.
SOG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sights and Observation Group.
Thanks.
Mine feels
Is
like
that
it's made out
what?
of lead. So
Yeah. See, mine's it's like a rubber handle, but then it's a big and it has like the serrated backside that you're supposed to be able to get wood shavings off of.
Right.
Yeah.
Flint.
Yeah. Well,
Or
no, like you drag it across a log and it should splinter it off and give you little like shavings.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. I will say real quick, like I haven't looked super deep into umbrellas, but overall they do seem pretty lightweight.
Yeah.
And they have little pockets that you attach to your shoulder strap and it'll seat in that pocket.
Yeah.
So you don't have to hold the umbrella. It just like is hanging out above you.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing I kept thinking about was if you're in like a tight, like narrow, like there's brush all around you, that would be a pain in the ass. But I guess you wouldn't need an umbrella if you're in brush, so.
That's true. We have a listener, Rebecca, that she uses an umbrella, and she finds that it is a nice little handy tool.
Yeah, she had a great argument for it.
She did.
Yeah.
I was pleased to. It made me kind of rethink my position from the other episode where I was taking poo-poos on umbrellas.
Yeah, and that's what I kept thinking. Like even when we go on our canoe trip, I was thinking about an umbrella because I'm a pasty boy. So I get pretty sunburned, and I'm a huge baby when it comes to getting sunburned.
I have to say, Brad, that if you're in the front of my canoe and you're wearing an umbrella that attaches to your, no, I don't care about my visuals. I mean, you're right. But also, like if I pass by like a group of people down the river and my co-captain is in my canoe with an umbrella that straps to his back, I'm gonna have to find a way to disassociate myself.
No, I was gonna bring my straw hat actually.
Straw
hat's good.
No,
That'll do.
That's vibing, homie. Yeah, straw hat's
that's
vibe.
my Charleston out in the water hat.
Let's go, hang loose.
For sure.
That's the old school umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do, after the last episode and hearing from Rebecca, I definitely acknowledge that maybe an umbrella is a sweet little deal.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, that I think depends on how much discomfort you're willing to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mosquito nets for your head. I know that Brad's talking about taking one up to Isle Royale this summer.
And canoeing.
It's another one of those things I've never had. I'm sure that there's a use, and I'm sure at some point in time it's going to slap me in the face or like 6 million times with mosquitoes, and I'm going to be wishing like, God damn it, I wish I would have brought a mosquito net. But I've never been in that position yet, and maybe that just speaks to me.
I mean, at the end of the day, you could buy all the stuff you needed for a couple of people to just carry you up the mountain while you eat grapes and drink wine.
Yeah.
But
mosquito net's probably a half an ounce.
Yeah, it is. It's, I mean, like when you're talking
but what
about
I'm saying
weight.
is just when it comes to comfort level, like, what are you willing to take with you?
I think if it was that many mosquitoes, like if I was in that position and there were that many mosquitoes, then the thing I would want is a mosquito net for my face. But I've not been in that position where I felt like the one thing I needed or wanted was a mosquito net for my face, which I know that people have been in that position.
That's why I'm thinking more so the canoe trip could require one because it's in the middle of summer in July, whereas the end of August in Isle Royale, it's getting pretty cold at night.
I think the exact opposite. I don't think you're going to need one on the river at all. But once again, I've never been in the position to need a mosquito net
on the river itself. I don't think we will, but I'm thinking like camp.
My guess is that you don't use it, but I appreciate bringing only a 2-ounce mosquito net.
I hope it's just like Patrick's just eating mosquitoes. Like
I'm sure it could happen.
Well,
I'm just saying I've done it more than anybody I know, and I never used it.
Most of these accessories are developed because somebody went out and they didn't. They were like, "How do I stop this from happening again?" Because it sucked.
Totally.
But everybody sometimes kind of has to touch the hot stove themselves.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I'm going to
really.
That's right. I'm not acknowledging that you can't, that there isn't a purpose.
Yeah.
But
just
until
like
I touch that stove. What?
Just like the French let bat. You got to eat that nasty toad to learn that it's poisonous.
That's a good philosophical lesson.
That makes perfect sense. That was a reach. That was a reach.
Calling back the News Panther.
That was nice. Anything else? What else? What else is there?
We've hit a little bit before on the water bottle holders.
Yeah.
That like they attach to your shoulder strap. They can be a little awkward because not every shoulder strap has the right latchings to attach it to.
Yeah.
So it's the water
if you know how
bottle.
to tie knots.
Yeah.
with
If you have
550
550 cord, like mine wasn't in my face the entire trip. Paddy's was like in his face the entire trip.
I never complained about it once.
You didn't.
I would have taken. I mean, for me, yet again, I will take it being awkwardly on my shoulder than in my side pouch.
Oh, it's so handy. Like even if it is in your face, like it's so handy to have.
I also think, and I think we mentioned it when we were talking about this before, that probably, I mean, you were just talking about the Gossamer gear bag.
Yeah.
And you were saying that some of the complaints was that they didn't build in the water bottle pouch. So you can imagine that the packs, like new era packs that are coming out 2026, 7, whatever, it's just going to be a standard for packs.
If nothing else, because I think the reason Gossamer gear doesn't have it is because they have latchings on the shoulder straps, but they sell a bunch of accessories to put on the straps.
Yeah.
So you can choose, do you want a little like fanny pack pouch? Do you want a water bottle holder? Like, what do you want on your shoulder?
I think that's also the future. I don't know if it's the future because I believe it's also the present.
Yeah.
But I think that's a lot, like Hyperlight's the same way. When you go shop the Hyperlight, it's like the pack is like this bare minimum thing. And then everything else you can purchase for it to attach to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
like
pretty cool.
Apple accessories.
I mean, it's fucking marketing. Like, it's just keeping you buying more shit.
But at least a lot of it's not like stupid crazy. Because even the water bottle holder, you can find $10 ones on Amazon.
And they're very good.
Yeah.
And I want to put an emphasis like how important it is to have easy access to your water.
I drank so much more water throughout my hikes. Than I ever have because of just accessibility.
Yeah, if it's hard to reach, you'll go further because you might have to go through this whole process just to get your damn water bottle or ask someone to get it for you. No, you want it in a spot where you can just grab it, not even think about it. Just drink water when you need it.
And my tip would be make sure that it has some way to capture the water bottle in the pocket. So if you bend over, the water bottle doesn't fall out. It's just handy. Like mine has a little elastic band that you can put over the top.
Yeah, and mine fell out like 40 times.
Yeah, because I could definitely see me bending over on the edge of a mountain and my water bottle just goes tumbling down the side of a cliff.
Yep.
It happens.
Yeah.
There's plenty more out there in terms of just do a Google online for backpacking accessories, and there's just a list a mile long. There's so much stuff that you could take with you, but I think we touched on like the most important.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into it more too eventually.
Oh yeah,
talk about our favorite top 3 I'm always taking or want to take kind of things.
Oh yeah, we'll keep alluding to it. It's. I mean, like Brad or you said at the very beginning, it's. The accessories is almost like the fun part. It's the bells and whistles of the car that you're about to buy. It's the aftermarket parts to make your car cooler.
Look at this thing.
Or your pack cooler. Yeah, man. And that's if you're at campsite with anybody else, those little gears and gizmos and gadgets and accessories that you can buy, those are always like the hot topic around. It's like, this little thing, and then everybody has a chance to shit on you or be amazed by this little thing, or they shit on you and then they turn around and go get it anyway. So like, okay, that was pretty fun.
Like a Hyperlight backpack.
And there's always somebody. Everybody has something cool with them.
Yeah.
And sometime you'll come across somebody on the trail that has some cool gadgets and gizmos.
Cha, bro. Let's wrap her up.
Yeah, so that's our gear. How did we do it? Backpacking gear and backpacking gear accessories.
Yeah.
Nice.
Episode. You guys ready to get out of here?
Hell yeah.
All right, thanks for listening. Keep on sauntering, everyone.
See ya.
Goodbye.
I said it right.